Hi there. Let me take a few minutes and talk about the second page of your first online assignment. So, the strategy, here is our population. There are only 3 observations, 1, 3, and 14. And with replacement, we are going to select 2 observations and make samples of size 2. So, let's pretend that as we randomly select, the first observation we select is a 1, and the next observation we select is a 3. So at the top of the next page, we have a table. So our first sample pair could be a 1 and a 3. Fair enough. Now, would you agree also that we could have selected the 3 first and the 1 second? Now, because we are sampling with replacement, so in other words, after we selected the 1, that 1 was put back into the population and we selected another member for our sample. We could have selected the 1 a second time also. So this sample pair is also possible. These are the 3 that I want to take a minute and talk about, and you'll get to finish the others on your own. So to complete the table, step 1, you need to calculate the mean of the sample and fill it into column 2. So these numbers are simple enough. I hope this isn't too complicated. The mean of 1 and 3, the sum is 4. Divide by 2, you get 2. So step number 2, fill in the 2 deviations to be squared in column 3 and fill in the sum in column 4. All right, well, the observations are 1 and 3. The mean is 2. So this is a negative 1 squared. This is a positive 1 squared. Those make 1 and 1. 1 plus 1 makes 2. That would be my sum. So next step. Step 3. The variance is supposed to represent the average of the squared deviations from the mean. So it seems like, since there are 2 deviations here, it seems like we should be dividing by 2. You already know that we're supposed to divide by 1 less than the sample size, but in column 5, what I want you to do is to pretend like we're supposed to divide by 2. So here, the sum is 2. If we divide by the full sample size of 2, we get a 1. That's step 3. Now, step 4. You already know that when calculating a sample standard deviation, remember these are samples of size 2 that we took from our population, we're supposed to divide by 1 less than the sample size. So in this case, that would be 2 minus 1, or just 1. So notice dividing by 1 is awfully convenient here. So if we divide by 1, our sum of 2 divided by 1 just makes 2 again. So in this simplified example, the sum here just ends up being the value that you get when you divide by 1. And that's step 4. So notice we have 2 columns that we're going to end up comparing. Column number 5. In column number 5, these are the values that we're going to get by dividing by the full sample size. These are the values that we're going to get by dividing by 1 less than the full sample size. And you're going to end up comparing those on page 3. So 2 more things to consider. Look at 3, 1, this sample pair. It has the same mean as 1, 3. And notice if you take the time to write the deviations, the observations are 3 and 1. The mean is again 2. Notice that you get the same deviations, they're just in a different order, as you did with the first sample pair. So you still get 1 plus 1. You still get a sum of 2. Dividing by 2, you get 1. Dividing the 2 by 1, you get 2. So notice that these sample pairs, they have exactly the same observations. They're just in a different order. So you end up getting exactly the same row. This is going to happen a couple of times as you complete your table. And notice, for this sample pair, we'll come back to this one in just a second, this row actually is super simple. We'll see that in the last video.